Hey friends, we are going to talk about how Texas schools are funded, land, property taxes, and the Constitution. If you've ever thought that Texas school funding sounds complicated, it's because it is. And it's also doing two different jobs at the same time. Texas, y'all. Texas has something called the Permanent School Fund. It's actually older than the state itself, and it started with land and mineral rights set aside to help fund Texas public education. And that land still generates money today. And the State Board of Education oversees how that fund is invested to support public schools. Think of the Permanent School Fund as a savings account for Texas public schools. But here's the part that people actually feel. Day-to-day school funding mostly comes from local property taxes. That's why school funding shows up on your property tax bill. So when people argue about school taxes, they're actually arguing about this part and not the Permanent School Fund. The Texas Constitution says that the state has to provide a system of public education, but it doesn't say that the state has to pay for it all directly. That's why Texas uses a mix. State-level funds, local property taxes, and long-term land-based funding all work together. The setup was designed to balance local control with statewide responsibility. Local communities help fund their schools. The state sets standards and supplements funding. It works, but it's not simple and it's not equal everywhere. When you hear about debates about school funding in Texas, people are often talking about different parts of the same system. Land money, property taxes, and a constitutional promise holding it all together. Texas school funding can seem very complicated, but once you start to break out all the pieces and understand what each does, it starts to make more sense. Follow for more Texas Civics Explained.